Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Work from Run Pure Bets. Back again, another episode of This Week With, and I got a special guest. This week, another New Jersey native, one of the best bantamweights in the world, currently number 8 in the UFC rankings, Jimmie Rivera. What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, man? What's going on?
All right, so first off, I've been following your career for a while now. I was probably live watching you fight in AC a couple times during Ring of Combat and CFFC. I used to actually work for Dead Serious back in the day, so I've seen a lot of the guys from Tiger Schulman's come up through the ranks, and I really follow you guys and root for you guys in all your fights going forward.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you had a string of 20 straight wins during your career, a feat that very few, if any, really can replicate. Have you ever taken a step back and fully appreciated what you accomplished there?
No. Never.
That'll be like after the career's over, you'll look back and be like, man, 20 in a row. That's really impressive feat, you know?
Yeah, I never really dwelled on it, to be honest with you. I never even thought of it. I think even as I got more experience and learning, the ways how the UFC works, the business and fighting and all that, it's always like, always focus on the next fight, coming up. And so if I'm fighting soon, I'm not focused on the fight after that. I'm just focused on the fight I have at hand.
All right, cool. So we know you fought back on UFC 238. You had a great fight versus the current champion, Peter Yan. You're probably Peter's hardest test to date. You won a lot of the exchanges, basically dominated him on the feet, other than maybe 2 punches at the end of round 1 and 2. What do you think you got to do to get your deserved rematch with Peter?
I think I just got to keep plugging away. I got to keep winning, obviously. And if that happens, I think I get a rematch. I think I do agree and I appreciate it. I think I was Jan's toughest fight, and I think he had a pretty tough fight against Aldo. But by that third round, you could just see Aldo slowly dying out. And people got to remember, when you're cutting a lot of weight, like Aldo's cutting a lot of weight, you don't have the same gas tank if you're cutting. He fights at 45 to cut to 35. It's a lot. 10 extra pounds is a lot of weight.
Yep. So additionally, I did see you training some Elmwood Park cops in jiu-jitsu. That's pretty awesome. Can you tell me a little bit how you got into that and the thought process behind it?
Yeah, so Mike Foligno, who's the chief at Elmwood Park, I've known him for a while now, and I've been working with him. And we were talking about, with everything going on, to be able to teach the cops. So when, cops go into situations, especially when it becomes physical, they don't always have to resort to, their OC spray is called, their pepper spray, or their baton, or their taser. Obviously, if it's a situation where there's a knife or a gun, it's a different circumstance. That's super life-threatening. But where someone's not resisting arrest, or someone's about to hurt themselves or others, they're able to control the person without using submission and locks. We do teach them it, but we teach them the submission and locks so they know how to get out of it if someone puts it on them.
That's awesome. That's really cool that you're doing that. So one more question. I know you fought in July, but do you have a target return date for your next fight, possibly an opponent you'd like to fight in this stacked division you're in?
Yeah, I believe it's supposed to be in January, end of January, believe, against Pedro Munoz.
All right, nice.
Yeah, so just kind of get back in there. It's kind of tough. Most of the people were out, so there wasn't really anybody available. At the end of the day, I've been trying to work to fight forward. So this is the first step fighting forward. I think he's 7 or 6, but still a step forward to move up in the rankings.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be rooting for you, that's for sure. So if it's all right with you, we'll run through your thoughts on the main card for tomorrow's UFC 255.
Sure.
All right, so the first fight on the main card is Shogun Rua versus Paul Craig. Shogun, the legend. We've obviously watched him fight a lot during his great fights in his UFC. He gets a rematch here as these two fought about a year ago in a fight that ended in a draw. Shogun, now 38, has won 4 of his last 5 and is off a decision victory back in July. He did get kind of pieced up in the first round last time out versus Paul Craig, but used his wrestling jiu-jitsu to sneak and steal the late rounds in a fight that ended in a draw. Paul Craig isn't a spring chicken himself. He looked pretty impressive versus Shogun in the first round. He had the speed advantage, length advantage. The fight was also the first time out of his 18 total fights that ended in a judge's decision. 12 of his 13 wins are via submission. All of his last 9 wins are via submission. I think there should be some extra motivation for him here. What do you think about this first fight on the main card?
On paper, Paul should win, but I'm a big fan of Shogun. I saw him in Henderson fight. That was a fucking fight of the age. It was a great fight.
All right, cool. So next one is blonde fighter Caitlin Chookagian versus Cynthia Cavillo. So obviously, blonde fighter has been very active this year. This will be her 4th fight. She has a 3-inch reach advantage, 5-inch height advantage, 7'4" overall in the UFC. She's very skilled overall, has good stand-up, BJJ brown belt, and is slowly improving her wrestling. I personally think she would like to keep this fight standing and use her reach and height advantage to get better exchanges on the feet. As for Cynthia, she enters this fight off a unanimous decision win over Jessica Ai and has a loss since 2017 versus Carla Esparza. We have seen improvement in her stand-up, but I think her main goal here would be to take this to the ground. So what do you think about the girls?
No, I think with them, the main fight is Caitlin Standen, and Cynthia wants to get past that reach. So if Caitlin can keep her at bay and stop her takedown, she'll win the fight. But if Cynthia get her down, it's gonna be an interesting fight because Caitlin does have good jiu-jitsu, so it should be interesting how it goes.
Yeah, definitely gonna be rooting personally for Caitlin in that one.
Yeah, me too.
Sweet. All right, so the next one we got is Mike Perry, Tim Means. This is going to be a good one. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, potentially fight of the night here. Mike's the only fighter not to make weight. He almost missed by almost 5 pounds. He enters off a decision victory over Mickey Gall. He proved in that fight that he does have some underrated grappling, as he was getting pieced up a little bit by Mickey and took him to the ground. Yeah. But we know he's not afraid to stand and bang. Out of his 14 pro wins, 11 by knockout. The Dirty Bird, Tim Means, he's been fighting in the UFC since 2012, holds a 14-9 overall record. He is off a solid decision victory over Riano Strapoli. Out of his 30 professional wins, 19 by knockout. Tim does have some underrated jiu-jitsu himself. I do expect fireworks here. What do you think about this one, Jimmy?
I think it's going to be Tim Means. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a brawl, but I think Tim Means is just, a little better than Perry on paper when it comes to the striking. So it should be an interesting fight. You know what I mean? But you can't count Perry out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. So co-main, Shevchenko versus Maya. The bullet back for another 5-round fight. Valentina, great boxer, great footwork. Her ground skills are also proven, although we haven't seen them lately that much. Past Amanda Nunez, she arguably has the best stand-up of all female fighters. Speaking of Nunez, 2 of Valentina's losses were to her, both by decision, 1 by split. She has finished 3 of her last 5, and is not someone you want to stand in the pocket with. She's probably the best women's flyweight ever. Jennifer Maia, she's next up. She gets a chance after beating Joanne Calderwood back in August via armbar in round 1. Before that, every one of her UFC fights have gone to the judges. Personally, I feel she's a little outclassed here, but obviously anything can happen in the fight game. What do you think about this one?
Oh, I got Valentina for sure on this fight. No offense to Maia, just she's good. I don't think there's anybody that's going to really test her for a little time.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. All right, now on to the main event. We got Davison Figueiredo versus Alex Perez. Figueiredo, finished machine, stopped 16 of his 19 fights. He enters this fight on a 4-fight win streak, with his last 2 coming as finishes over Joe B. He will come forward. I expect him to try and get a finish early with his big punching power. Alex Perez on a 3-fight win streak himself, his last in June over a stoppage over Jussier Formier. Funny enough, that's the only person to beat Figueiredo. So Perez will probably look to use his wrestling, hold Davison down. He also depends heavily on his leg kicks, which should showcase here in the main event. I think the longer the fight goes, the better Alex has. What do you think about the main event?
I think the same thing when it comes down to it. I think Figueiredo is going to try to put him away early, but if he could keep it going, he could get a win. It's just will it be enough to win the belt? You know what I mean?
Yeah. True. All right, so before I let you go, since you fought both fighters, I want to know your thought on the Bantamweight title fight between Peter Yan and Aljo.
Do they have a date set on that yet?
I don't think so.
Just sometime in December?
Yeah.
I think, simple as this. If Aldo can get him down, he's going to win the fight. But if he can't, it's going to go to Yan. Yan's a better striker. Aldo's a better wrestler. Well, I don't know if he's a better wrestler, but a better grappler. Wrestling-wise, I don't know. If Jan's not a dumb fighter, a smart fighter, so I know he's going to be working the wrestling takedown defense because that's the main objective there. But it should be interesting to see what happens.
All right. Well, hey, Jimmy, thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. Is there anything you'd like to plug, or can you let our followers know where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. You can just find me on Jimmie Rivera 135 on Twitter, or just Jimmie Rivera on Instagram, and I appreciate the time, man.
No, I appreciate your time, man. Thanks again. We'll definitely be rooting for you in the future, buddy.
Anytime, man. Be good.
All right. Have a good one. All right. Well, another week, another great guest. Really appreciate Jimmy coming on the show. Another New Jersey guy. That one is meant a little more to my heart because he's from Jersey. And, one of the best ever. I mean, you got to put his name in there. The guy won 20 fights in a row. Not many other people can do that, you know. He's fought all the top competition, and he's in this stacked weight class. So I'm definitely going to be rooting for him. He's a banger. Definitely a guy I really appreciate. So obviously, we'll be live for subscribers only in a couple hours tonight. UFC 255 live betting the whole card. I personally put a little extra time into this. I had a little extra time yesterday, and I put it fully into capping this card. So I really am confident on a lot. I have a play for every single fight. Am I going to, you know, I'll talk about it with our subscribers if they want to find the edge, and then we'll go from there. But obviously, check out the website, runpurebets.com, so you can subscribe. $20 a week. You can subscribe. Come watch us bet live. Make some money tonight. You get all our handicappers picks. You get all the private Discord where you could ask all our handicappers anything you want, any time of the day. You get all our spreadsheet plays. Obviously, all the live shows, plus the live betting, plus the betting articles. I mean, can't really beat that. You know, we're running a 25% off your first month right now. Use bets 25 off. Make sure to hit the like button. That'll help me out. If you aren't, go follow me on Twitter at Joey Work. Follow Run Pure Bets at Twitter. Good luck, everybody, on your bets this weekend. Enjoy the fights. Hope to see you later tonight. Peace.